In the morning, he is a clown performer. In the afternoon, he becomes a traditional Chinese opera performer. On one side, a 1,000-year-old Chinese opera tradition. On the other, the art of clowning from the West. What happens when these two worlds meet in one person? Why would someone choose to carry both identities? In this episode, we follow John through his day, exploring the development of clown performance in China and the real situation of traditional opera today. Now, let's step into John's world.
Hello，
哪一个是？现在
这个，现在开，放到这个后面。
John is 28 years old. He works in commercial performances. We met just 1 week ago at a Kid S birthday party. He had just finished performing as a clown. The moment he took off his makeup, I knew there was a story behind him.
你每天在手机上接活？
对，就是线上。
今天咱就一共就2场。
不是，这个严格说是等于说是4场，因为变脸是3场，他1场1个钱。
Today, he's traveling between 2 cities in a single day, performing 4 shows back to back. John lives a very frugal life. One of the reasons he agreed to let me film him is because I can drive him between the 2 cities, saving him a good amount of money on taxi fares. Everything John needs for today's performances fits inside this single suitcase. This suitcase carries his entire working day. His first show today is for a 3-year-old's birthday party. Before the guests arrive, he has to set everything up, lay out the props, check the order of the show, test the music, making sure nothing goes wrong.
你想一下，这个小朋友的童年，他就这几年，他就这6、7岁，他再大一点8、9岁，他就不会说会喜欢这个了。所以说，我就特别珍惜每一次给小朋友过生日的机会。童年的记忆需要去一生去回想，就会影响到你的一生。所以说，每一次我们去演出就会。比如说，只有10分的劲，我会10到20分的劲，这样子去做。
今天呢，非常开心，也非常的激动啊！能和大家一起来见证谁的生日？大声说了您的好不好？谁的生日？那我们祝宝贝生日，你们说快乐好不好？祝宝贝生日。
In China, most families usually hold a formal celebration only during a child's first year. It could be a 1-month banquet or a first birthday celebration. That's when relatives and friends are invited to gather and celebrate. But throwing a birthday party every single year, and even hiring a magician or a clown to perform, that's more common in families with stronger financial conditions.
人家肯定该说这太不专业了，咱跟人家外国的没法比。但是这东西都是从人家外国传过来的，在中国都没有。
这小个子跟你几年了
？4年。他已经12岁了，他1年顶咱们3年。
John takes every performance very seriously. Before each show begins, he always runs through the act again and again. For him, even a small birthday party deserves his best performance.
Hello， 来，小朋友来，好来，发气球好不好？来。
In China, clown performance is still a relatively new profession. Unlike in some Western countries, there are almost no negative stereotypes about clowns here. For most people, a clown simply means someone who brings joy. At birthday parties, especially, clowns focus a lot on interacting with the kids. They often mix in different acts too, like simple acrobatics, magic tricks, and playful games, turning the whole party into a lively little show.
在我印象当中，印象最深的就是在一个商场里面，我做活动，他姓刘，他们小朋友都喜欢过家家啊。这个企业你要帮我，他们就会很愿意帮我。从我第1天开始去。 他就在旁边帮我。比如说小朋友来了，他会组织小朋友排好队伍啊。连续3天，就是每天我不到，他就在门口那里等着我。他妈妈是在旁边上班啊，他妈妈还把店里边的水呀、水果呀都会给我拿过来让我吃，我就特别的感动。就是第3天的时候吧，我要走了嘛，他说了一句话，我特别的记忆犹新，就是说了一句：“这一次分别以后，不知道什么时候再见。”我感觉这个小朋友能说出这样的话，就会让人感觉到，就是很童真吧，就是发自内心他很喜欢你。我走的时候，他站在电梯口那里就眼泪汪汪的看着我，就这样拜拜。然后当时我心里就在流泪，我说这个小男生怎么这么好，到现在我就忘不了他。
Happy birthday to you, Happy birthday to you， 来，生日快乐，掌声鼓励一下。好，这是我们的宝贝啊。
The performance lasts for about an hour. As the guests sit down to eat, John is already packing up his props in a hurry. The entire morning, John didn't even have a moment to drink water. Before 3 p.m., he needs to arrive in another city for a traditional Chinese opera performance. John actually graduated from a drama school. He used to travel with a theater troupe, performing Chinese opera on stage. Because of that, he has developed a pretty solid singing voice.
西门外放罢了崔振炮，乌云罩，乌云罩。
On the road, I asked John to sing a short piece from a very famous Chinese opera. For many Chinese people, this melody is a shared childhood memory, and in Henan province especially, almost everyone can sing a few lines of it. But before we listen to the song, we first need to understand the story behind this classic opera. The story takes place in ancient China during a time of constant war. Foreign enemies are invading, and the country is on the brink of collapse. The legendary young family generals who once defended the nation have almost all died in battle. Now, only one person remains, a retired female general, Mu Guiying. Years ago, she was a powerful commander, leading armies across the battlefield, but now she has long put down her armor and left the life of war behind. With no other choice, the emperor sends messengers to ask the aging general to return. Just then, 3 cannon blasts suddenly echo outside the military camp. It is the signal that the army is about to march. The thunder of the cannon seems to awaken something deep inside her. Mu Guiying realizes that the nation is once again in its darkest moment. And so, the old general puts her armor back on and walks toward the army camp.
远门外那3声炮，雨同雷震，天波府里走出来望。
In China, this opera aria is so famous that many older people can sing it by heart. Its cultural status is a bit like Amazing Grace in the West, a melody that generations have heard.
你往这边来看，梅花。
辛苦了啊！耶，谢谢啊！
好，俺多了阿姨啊，拜拜。
The woman we just saw is John's godmother, Ruth. They became close because they both love traditional Chinese opera. Whenever John comes to this city to perform, Ruth cooks a meal for him and brings it to his performance venue. Because of his busy schedule, John often doesn't have time to eat. For him, having just one meal a day is actually quite common. But John's afternoon performance is not on this stage. Instead, it will take place at the entrance of a large shopping mall. In recent years, as China's economic growth has slowed down, many shopping malls have started organizing events and performances to attract more visitors. And today, John will perform Sichuan opera Face Changing. is a unique form of traditional Chinese theater where performers switch masks in a split second to represent changes in a character's emotions and inner thoughts. After the performance, John doesn't leave right away. Instead, he interacts with the crowd and encourages people to walk into the mall to join the activities and claim prizes. The reason is simple: foot traffic. Many shopping malls care a lot about how many people actually enter the building. At the entrance, sensors are installed to count every person who walks inside. Only when people pass through those sensors and enter the mall does it count toward the mall's traffic numbers. After the gifts are handed out inside the mall, John leads the audience back outside again. There, he performs another act, like fire breathing, to gather the crowd once more. This afternoon, John has to repeat this set 3 times. The content is almost the same each time, performed once every hour, and each session is paid separately. To be honest, John doesn't really enjoy this kind of performance. What once felt like simply bringing joy to the audience now often feels more like performing just to drive traffic for a shopping mall. In a way, his role has slowly changed. He used to see himself as an artist on stage, but in many commercial events today, he sometimes feels more like someone working for the mall's foot traffic. Still, in this industry, the client's needs always come first, so whether he likes it or not, John simply follows the plan and finishes each performance as required. John is a workaholic. For him, life is almost entirely about work and making money. On a good day, what he earns from performances can equal a full month's salary for an average worker in this city. But despite that, he spends very little. His lifestyle is extremely simple, with almost no entertainment at all. There's a striking contrast between how much he earns and how little he chooses to spend.
好，走吧。
你一般下了班就是这点儿下了班，你都干嘛去？
我都快累死，你看我能干啥？不想说话也难，都可累。干一天，它不像那种坐那上班，这弄一天还要说话还要互动。
那你平常没啥娱乐活动吗？
没有时间娱乐，天天都在搞活，没怎么休息过，就喜欢搞活，因为搞活可以挣钱。中间会休息个1-2天的话，就会在家好好睡觉，就2-3天都不下楼。
那你有没有考虑过，你这一直干下去，干到什么时候是个头？
干到死呗。
没有梦想啊？你赚钱是为了什么？
没有梦想，就这样就挺好的呀。我的梦想就天天都有活就好了。
那你赚的钱，你没有梦想，你想买什么？你赚钱就为了？
不想买，就为了攒，因为穷怕了。
穷怕了是什么意思？
穷怕了，你小的时候穷怕了呀，因为家里条件不好。
现在
就是有钱才有安全感。因为我谁也指望不上，我爸爸也不在了，我妈妈嘛年龄也大了。
With the money John makes, he could easily afford to buy a house or a car without taking on loans. But he hasn't done that. After spending these 2 days with him, I've started to realize just how little he cares about material things. He rarely spends money and prefers to save as much as he can. Sometimes I can't help but wonder what kind of life he had growing up that led him to be this disciplined and almost extreme when it comes to saving money. After a full day of performances, John is already exhausted. He'll be staying at his godmother Ruth's place tonight, and out of respect for her privacy, we decide not to continue filming inside. So this is where our filming ends. This is John, a performer in China, and a glimpse into his daily life.